responsibilities within the Outlier Ventures?
So I'm the accelerator lead at Outlier Ventures, and in this role, I basically liaison in between the founding teams, the startups that go through our programs, and our partners, the ecosystem venture partners, and basically a connector and the point of touch for these teams into the broader OV network of mentors, experts, partners, and alumni.
Okay, what is Outlier Ventures for you then? It's just a company, a philosophy, a mission?
So we're the largest Web3 investors in Web3, and that basically gives us an overview over the industry that no one else has. So for me, it's really this matching all these different partners that go into a single platform that brings on demand to the founders wider connection they couldn't find anywhere else.
Oh, that's awesome. So what's the mission of the company as such then?
So we were born with a strong investment thesis from Jamie Bark, founding.
Yes, great names.
And we were born out of his idea and investment thesis on the open metaverse that really incorporate all this value on which the blockchain and transformation was initially thought in principle. And based on this, we framed our investment thesis and updated across the years. So we really make sure that everything that we accelerate is in line with the values of open, transparent, and new open web.
My next question is, you guys are helping startups raise investments. What are some of the criteria of choosing startups?
So for us, it's a lot about in the seed round or the fundraising, helping them achieve their investment readiness. It's one of the critical stage of the startup's success, and we want to make sure everything is in line in terms of their tech roadmap, their structuring, the token,
the risk
management, the legal and compliance. So all these aspects that you want to figure out once forever.
Exactly.
It's the right stage where you want to do it and you want to do it.
Task, right? How do you handle that risk management part, especially when it comes to investing, let's say, in an early stage startup?
Yeah, so for us, I think one of the biggest advantage that we have is that we have domain experts within the enterprise. So whenever we sit at an investment committees, all these different multidisciplinary skills are represented in investment committees. So every startup has 10, 20 eyes on it, and really just by putting the brains together, we can see things that usually we wouldn't see. So there's a lot of that.
So how do you guys identify the startups where you want to put your attention, put your money, and of course, put your time?
So it's a 4-stage process. It's very structured the way we really process a lot of application on a quarterly basis. So the first step is really checking the fit with the current investment thesis that we update with our partner that co-invest with us. And the second stage is really like screening interview to get a bit to know the founding team, and finally the investment committee where they get to pitch to this broader community of partner involved in this final decision. And finally, we do our due diligence on tech market perspective.
A lot of perspective, honestly speaking.
Yes.
Well, what kind of startups then, spark interest in your company?
So right now we're investing into 3 thematic programs. We have the DeepIn, which I'm leading, and then real world asset and artificial intelligence.
Well, 3 things at a time. That's quite a promising message to the people who are watching you at the moment. Could you please tell it once again, please?
So yeah, we have DeepIn for the decentralized physical infrastructure.
Exactly, physical infrastructure.
Artificial intelligence, which is a strong core of our long inheritance in the company. We invested previously in Fetch AI, Ocean Protocol, so we have a lot of credibility in that sector and a strong investment thesis towards the convergence with Web3 and real-world assets.
I was wondering how exactly do you support the growth of portfolio companies, especially beyond the investment stage?
So there's different ways. One of those is through a program we call Ascent. So when the team's ready for token launch, we want to make sure everything is lined up for success. So we onboard and fast track them into this program for more mature teams, where we provide the connection with the market makers, exchanges. And secondly is at the time of graduation from our programs, basically the teams join a broader group of alumni where they, especially for example, you're doing dev tooling, you have a base where you can find your first customers. There's a lot of partnership that are driven through these alumni network, and it's invaluable.
So does it mean that you provide tools and resources for them to succeed?
Correct.
Absolutely gorgeous. Anything else that a startup should have so that you could actually invest in that startup or maybe a blockchain project?
So for us, we value a lot transparency. We don't try to fool us. We have a lot of experience in the back. So if there's anything in the investment committee that you haven't figured out, we don't assume that you have everything figured out by before joining the accelerator. We value you open up with us and saying, okay, we want to structure a token together. We want to build up more of the Web3 knowledge that we're lacking of, but we have these other competitive advantage and skills in the team. So transparency for me
Transparency is the key. Well, any other specific criteria that a startup or maybe a blockchain project can secure to catch your attention then?
Yeah, I think a lot
other than not fooling yourself, because fooling is not a good thing. But anyways, just something else.
Yeah, I think you need to have a big vision for your end game. So want to make sure we are in the business and venture business with big risk and big opportunities. We want to make sure you're also very ambitious with what you want to build.
Okay, so how ambitious are you guys for the coming next 2 to 5 years?
Incredibly ambitious.
Incredibly. Where do you see yourself then? How big you want to be?
I think we want to have an active role into the adoption of the blockchain. It's something that really motivates us in the company.
True.
And to do that, we're gonna have more regional presence to even improve program after program the service that we can offer to the startups. And seeing OV as Outlier Ventures as an open platform, the broader the platform, the network effects kick in. They have 300 portfolio companies and growing really fast.
That's true.
That's only improving after year.
So what's your level of satisfaction when it comes to technological adoption?
So far, I would say that we're doing a lot of great progress on the infrastructure level. I would like to see better use cases on the finding the killer app or adoption that is really at the Web 2.5. So like that as an appealing for the mainstream audience. Sometimes we close too much into our bubbles.
Yeah, and then you lose the rest.
This is something that as the market matures is something that we expect now. We cannot like...
Absolutely. I think that the market will get even more mature. Could you please maybe tell us a little bit more about your use cases, some maybe success stories, some notable achievements that you consider important?
Yeah, for example, right now that we have these 3 thematic programs, one thing I really like to see when the cycle kind of the cycles kind of close, all these alumni come back as partners when they have success.
That's the best moment, right?
So we have a lot of deep-in companies that are coming back as mentors. So we have Boson Protocol, which is a great use cases we had on the real-world asset coming back on the to bring that back the support and into the network for the program. And one thing, for example, in the artificial intelligence is getting those teams back as partners. So with Fetch AI is probably one of the most tangible use cases that we have in these conversions of AI and Web3.
The reality. Absolutely. Well, speaking about achievements, it's always good. However, how about challenges? What challenges do you guys face at the moment?
So I think like the seasonality is always hard to drive, both for founders but also for the investors, because you see these really overnight changes between bull and bear market and the valuation going crazy. So sometimes the deal flow is harder. You need to do more outreach, and sometimes the cycle is completely different. In bull run,
Yeah.
you got a lot of volumes, but it's also difficult to commercial negotiate with the teams. So seasonal is always difficult to adapt.
Yeah, that's quite of a challenge. Which are some of the weirdest things that have happened to you over the course of all this process with the clients? Could you maybe share with us?
Yeah, I really like to be perceived as an accelerator lead, as a founder first
Absolutely.
person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really excited when some of these founders gets more integrated and become actual partner of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a team we accelerated last year during my program with the near ecosystem that it's soon to be announced, but we're getting more and more integrated
Wow,
with them.
so we definitely have some great news coming up soon about the new launches, right?
Yeah.
You want to tell us about them, or shall we stop, or shall we maybe learn
cannot say
later?
that.
Okay, well, secrets for the future. However, I've got 4 more questions for you, which is so important. I can't just not help asking them. What's the state of the crypto currently, and what's going to happen next? What's your prediction of the market?
So I think right now they're still finding a blueprint at the level of infrastructure. I think for developers, it should be much easier to kind of figure out what's the blockchain architecture should be. And we're still at that stage where there is a lot of decision paralysis because all these new layer ones coming in. They're kind of on one side, it's a good sign. They're improving the technology.
Yeah.
On the other side, it's kind of slowing down the process, making it harder sometimes for devs to find the perfect state.
So what's your prediction of the crypto market currently?
So I think there's gonna be a movement of consolidation of the market that we're seeing with the first token merging. It's actually happening in house. It's between 2 portfolio companies, but I think there's gonna be a lot of those into the layer 1 because we need more consolidation on that side. And when that will happen, and we're gonna reach better level of account abstractions, then I think the infrastructure landscape is gonna be set for strong commercial founders to really finally find their way into the market and bring in those killer apps we're waiting for.
Oh yeah, that's true. What are some of your favorites? What are some of your favorite crypto projects in the market?
Okay, good question. I'm a Solana fanboy.
Oh, we've got Solana fans here.
I like the ecosystem there because I think we need some commercially oriented ecosystem because I don't want to go in that loop of continuously building infrastructure. But at the same time, it's good that that's happening to improve the tech. And I'm really looking with a lot of expectations to use cases in the social fi. I am following the evolution of Farcasters, new social media. I think there's a lot that we can develop.
Definitely. So are we going to have an alt season after Bitcoin halving?
I think so. I think after, I think it's gonna be driven by macroeconomic factors. It's gonna, the real factor is probably gonna be on the interest rates. For the risk asset rotation to really take place, probably after summer. It's my prediction.
It might be a possibility. That's quite an interesting opinion. And last but not the least, do you think that Bitcoin will skyrocket to 100K this year?
I think January next year.
January next year. I was talking about it this year.
That's what my crystal ball will say. Everyone will expect December, so I'll say January.
January next year.
Next year we'll reach
High five.
100K.
Thanks a lot for the interview. It's been a pleasure to have you here, share your insights. I was looking forward to this interview with you, and I think I wasn't the only one because a lot of people behind the cameras were just counting the minutes to have these insights shared by you. Thanks a lot and have all the best luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next time.
Thanks. Bye.